Honestly, I've never found the right ways to say this. Never found the right time, the right position, or the right feeling to say any of the things that I wanted to say. For now, it feels like death is a solution to a problem that is affecting everyone in my life, old and new people alike. I don't want to be that person who is constantly in need of assistance, a person who always needs to be helped. I want to be the helper. I want to be the one to reach out my hand and provide help to someone else. And yet I keep drowning. I keep drowning in my own mistakes. I keep drowning in my own choices, which I have to own up for. And no one else is to blame for it but me. I always thought that being there, existing, was normal. Trying to live did not seem like a big deal at all because everyone who exists has some form of purpose. However, the only purpose I can find in mine is if I cease to exist. The problems that come with me would vanish eventually, and I wouldn't need to burden anyone else with my absence. Sometimes plunging a knife into my heart seems to be an easier way to calm down, to think of the alternative, to off myself, to be rid of this mortal coil. Just because I do not understand what death holds for me doesn't mean I should be eager to go find it. I think about how easy it would be. I mean, the knife is so sharp. I already know where the heart is. All I need to do is just make sure that I let the knife slip between the rib cage and just cut my heart. Go deep into it so that the blood that's supposed to be pumping through my entire body would just fill my lungs instead. And then from there, I'm guessing my death would be imminent. I'd cough out blood. I wouldn't scream for help because I wanted this. I try to shoulder the pain that I put upon myself. In doing so, I rid this world of my existence. And maybe the Grim Reaper will come with the disgust on his face. And he will drag my soul into the very depths of the underworld, closest to the lake of fire, allowing the demons to feast off my soul, to burn my flesh, and to do it all over again for eternity because of the crime I committed upon myself. Asking for help is one of the most painful things that I've had to do. It feels like I'm inside their brain, and I can feel the thoughts that they formulated about me. It might not be true, but I definitely think of it anyways. of how I'm limiting their options. I'm putting them in a corner. That morality towards me is just too much. Maybe I say these things because I don't have so much. Maybe I say these things because I know if kept inside my head, they would evolve into something bad or worse. These recordings have saved my life because, quite honestly, no one is willing to listen. No one wants to listen. I hear so much talks about mental health and how everyone is going to try and help you if they found out about it. The truth is they won't. Neurotypical, neurodivergent. It's either the neurodivergence one is also trying to get attention themselves, so they will try to shadow you, okay? They'll try to eclipse your problems because they have bigger problems. And the neurotypical won't even care because your existence does not mean more or less to them. You are not something that would give them life, give them money, or give them fame or fortune. So it's not even worth the risk. If they tell you that they're listening to you, the chances are they're just going to find reasons to blame you for the things that you've done. Every single thing that pops out of their mind is going to have to reach towards the logical rather than the illogical. And the things that's happening to people like us, it's the illogical frame. You not doing something is not the fact that you don't want to do it, but it's the fact that your brain is not even wired that way. But it's expected of you. They'd call you dumb, stupid, unwilling, lazy, every single piece of it, every step of the way. And sometimes people think it's cool to be that way. It's cool to have ADHD. It's cool to be in that zone where you do not know what to do when you're a spot of confusion. And every single option that stands before you is a valid reason or is a valid opinion, and you do not know what to do, so you're stuck. And it's annoying and it's infuriating to for them to claim to have support for everyone else who is in this spectrum, but in reality it's just lip service. It's not real. If you go to a job right now, tell them that you have ADHD and you work and act like you have ADHD, you are gonna be fired. People want productivity and efficiency. ADHD doesn't really come with that. Productivity is not that so easy to get because you have time zones. You have moments where you're hella productive, and there are moments where you can't even move a single muscle in your body. But apparently, if you're in a workplace and you do have that, that is prohibiting productivity. I hate the fact that they claim support when there isn't any support. There is no help. I mean, there are a lot of TikTokers out there who try and make neurodivergency look like a great thing. But how do you say that a broken brain is great? It's not normal. It's not normal. But apparently, it's the new level of crazy, is the new level of good. So they all just want to swoop into it when they don't even have it. They pretend to have it so that people would just acknowledge them. The ones that do are actually suffering. Do you know how painful it is to not fit in? To have to stand on the outside wishing that you were on the in? to see people have fun, and then when you're in the same position to do the same thing, you overthink the entire situation and just end up cramping. Not physically though, that's just mentally. You can't say anything funny, you can't do anything funny, you're just there existing. It's like something got hold of your speech. It's like a cat got your tongue. And you're just frozen, just trying to pretend to be a normal human being. That's even the wildest part. Try to pretend to be a normal human being. Because the way you walk is weird, the way you are is weird. And you're supposed to just carry off the sense that everything is okay. But it's not. I say all of these things to let them go. I don't say them so that they take hold in my life. Sometimes people are limited because they're told to feel a certain way. They think that what they say is what they are. In order to let go of what you are, you have to change your mindset. You have to change whatever it is you feel is the rational explanation. Sometimes the answers are not in front of you. They're invisible. They're out of reach. All you have to do is feel like they're close to you so that they can transition from the intangible to the tangible. I don't know, maybe you've heard my reviews over time. You've heard me say all sort of crazy stuff. But I guess I'm here to tell you that it is not easy. The amount of things I go through and the amount of things I tend to be oblivious to, there are many. Everyone pretends to care because they don't want to look like the bad guy. But the truth is they couldn't care less. I'm telling you right now, if they were faced with the opportunity to choose between a neurodivergent person and someone who acts normal, they'll go for normal every day because they know they can predict normal. They know that if they pick the normal guy, he's not going to go out of his way and fuck shit up. Neurodivergent person, on the other hand, you can't time them. There is no limitation. There's no way that you can predict whatever it is that they're doing, because one moment they could be like the best employee you've ever seen and then just completely switch up and make you feel like you've made a wrong decision your entire life, because that's how bad they can make you feel. I'm not trying to throw shade on anyone. The truth is, whether or not you tend to be in the spectrum, there are expectations for everyone. A life that people want you to live. They have goals for you that are different from the ones that you have for yourself. And it's even more chaotic when you don't have some. When you do not know what to do with your life, it's easy for everyone to just stand in and steer your boat towards whatever it is they want. They get the benefits and you enjoy the ride. Meanwhile, it's your life, it's your boat. Confidence is key. It's true. But people also have access. You might be overqualified in ways more than one, but because you have no idea who anyone is, you're always left behind. I think the truth is, no one ever really understands how difficult it is. Because you have multiple people just painting all of these disorders like they're really great things. Like it's not gonna turn into a mental breakdown if the OCD victim or the OCD person doesn't put everything into the right place. They act like the ADHD person is not gonna feel torment if his place is not in a mess. The chaos that exists with all of these disorders, with all of these sicknesses, with all of these problems are vast. But then they tell you, you know what? You have a special brain. You work differently, and we can work with that. They can't. They don't. Normal people would always see us as weird, whether they want to say it or not. I don't really have the willpower to carry out my suicidal tendencies, but I do entertain those ideas on a daily basis. In fact, I say them probably all the time. You can ask my friend. I just be there, and all of a sudden I'd be like, kill me now. Just kill me now. Because it seems like getting out of this entire race is so great. I have to deal with all of this competition, all of this pulling people down just so that I can rise up to the top type shit. It's just so much annoying because the vanity of it all is that at the end of the day, even when they've had their fullest life, there will be something that pulls them back into regret. You fight and you fight, and then you pull walls down, break barriers, do the unthinkable, and in a couple of generations, it would not even matter. You think your life is relevant? There are those who believe that there is a God, and there's those who believe that there is not a God. And what's your relevance? If you are in a religion, it means that at the end of the day, you are going to worship a God who is greater than you. And you are going to be worshiping him for all eternity. If you don't do what he says, it means that you're going to hell, and where he's going to torment you for making that decision of not wanting to worship him. And on the side of the atheist, it's basically game over. It's game over for their side, because the moment they're dead, that's it. If the atheist is wrong, that means he's going to join those people down there in hell. He's going to just walk in there and it's like, oh gosh, I was wrong, but it's too late. Can't exactly change his mind whilst he's boiling alive. Now, if the atheist is right, it means the Christianity or the religion was for nothing. That means every piece that they put together, everything that they experienced in their lives was all for nothing. All of it. Every single moment in time where they felt something, where they touched something, where they conceived something out of the ordinary, it was all just in their head. Or maybe it's both sides. Maybe it's what you believe in. Maybe it's an intricate design for people to have their way out and to punish themselves. If you believe that the afterlife is waiting for you, maybe there's a place for them after all. If you believe that you do not exist anymore after you're dead, maybe that's also something for you. But even if you cease to exist your essence would probably still be there and would probably be shoveled back into a human body, and you would leave the same processes, whether you choose to believe it or not. But the pattern might change this time. You might become the religious one, the one who believes in fate more than anyone else. This is a complete rant, by the way. I'm not seeking to get more subscribers or more people to follow me because of this. Honestly, I do not even know how you guys were able to listen to every single thing that I said. Sometimes I hate myself so much. The peace and quiet that people sometimes have in their heads, I envy them. Because mine is like a woodpecker that keeps on pecking on the wood every day, every night, every morning, every evening, every dawn. And it agitates me when I decide to be the first to reply to you or the person to reach out to you and you give me no response. It's just one tiny text message away from giving you paragraphs and paragraphs of why you have angered me. I keep on drifting into all of these crazy moments, these crazy feelings, and they all just get bottled up inside. Because if I ever open up my mouth and talk about these things, it's not even the insanity labeling that's gonna get me. Someone's literally gonna get it to the mental hospital. Someone's gonna get me there. I can't cry about a situation. Even if the world is ending, my mind would be leveled. It would be calm. No matter how fucked up shit is, I'll be mentally calm. It doesn't really faze me because I already have a way out. Unfortunately, when things are blissful, that's when I switch to chaos mode. I've been very successful in pushing people away. Sometimes out of a hunch in my head, sometimes even just a dream, a simple dream. But then again, I don't think dreams are simple. I've formulated the worst of people who are close to me. Because every single time that I felt like I could get closer to someone, there are these dots that were forming at the back of my mind. And just one wrong move that they make, it instantly gets all connected. It's so instant. That moment, I just mentally cut them off. Then wait until they manifest in reality. Because I do not know what's gonna happen to them. But I've also noticed a pattern. It starts off with you being friends with them. Then you like them very much. You like spending time with them. You constantly find yourself in their presence. And they're irreplaceable to you. But that feeling is not vice versa. I mean, yes, they enjoy your company a little bit. But at the end of the day, you are not the only person on the roster. There's someone else who spends time with them. There's someone else who they probably enjoy listening to them more than they do you. And then it dawns on you. makes you realize that, oh my gosh, I'm in competition with a lot of other people. I need to step up my game. And then you get conscious and you get anxious, and then your mind starts racing always more than one. Before you know it, you start doing weird shit in front of them, and you realize you can't stop, so you have to switch the plan. You realize that you're losing them, so instead of trying to make more ways to get them, you're going to repel them. Make sure that they hate you with every fiber of their being, so that once they cut you off, you get the feeling that you've always had. The feeling of betrayal, of disappointment, of anger, of rage, embarrassment, humiliation, all of it one toppled upon the other, just so that you can cut them off and feel whole, because the fact that they want to hang out with you and another person just kills you inside. Someone would call that obsessive. Some would call that madness. But what do you know? I've never seen you had a neurodivergent brain. All the chaos that I've kept inside myself, you cannot hold a single one of them. They really try to downplay the shit that goes through your head, but it's not so. You know, feeling is on the next level for me. When I put on my headsets and I listen to a song that I really love, not only do I get goosebumps, but it feels like a drug has entered my system. I feel high. It's the best feeling in the world. And no one can really understand how much good it feels that every single thing, tactile, haptic, whatever it is, you just feel it more. I really love the way texture feels. Everything excites my fingertips. And so most of the time, I try to just keep my hands steady, because if it starts moving, it's just going to try and figure out every single layer, every single bump, every part of every machine. My feeling would want to get a piece of that action. And if it's someone that I like, chances are every single part of you fascinates me. Even parts that you might be insecure about, parts that you do not like yourself. You know, I've always thought that I wanted to be a vampire, but never really thought that I'd be okay with the idea of drinking blood as my lunch, my breakfast, my supper. Well, I guess in more ways than one, I am a vampire. This is not a suicide note, by the way. Planning to off myself. I probably wouldn't even have the guts to write anything. I guess my advice is, if you don't want to help them, if you don't want to help neurodivergent people, then get out of the way. Don't take it upon yourself to go after all of that drama, all of that chaos, just because you think you know what's best. Because you don't. This was supposed to be a freaking poem. And now here I am, bitching. Well, I think you guys can take care of yourselves. I will now go stream to 1 million subscribers. Because that's my job now. So you take care and have a fantastic day. Bye.